Iraklion. The picturesque harbour welcomes those arriving by ship at Crete's greatest city, that is also the fourth largest harbour in Greece. In common with much of the history of this town, the imposing castle located at the harbour dates back to Venetian times and was built between 1523 and 1540. Since the 13th century and under Venetian rule, thanks to its favourable geographic position, Heraklion was the capital of the Aegis. For many years, the city and its harbour have been virtually impregnable. A few of the old cannon have been retained to the present day. Although the harbour's castle and further fortifications were protected by a mighty array of cannon and strategically connected underground passageways, the Venetians lost Iraklion to Turkey. Although they managed to fend off their enemies for 21 years, they were eventually forced to surrender. The city became occupied by the Osmanic Empire. For nearly 300 years, Turkey ruled over the island of Crete and its seaways. Both then and now, the battlements of the harbour fortification offer a wonderful view over the harbour and the sea. Throughout the entire city, both past and present rub shoulders with one another. Because Heraklion's population has doubled in the last 30 years, modern buildings outweigh the old. Today, the archaeological search for ruins from the time of the ancient Minoers has become increasingly more important. In addition, work on the ruins that date from the earlier history of the town, when it was ruled by Turkey, has also gained momentum. The remains that date back to Venetian rule, such as some sections of the massive town hall and the so-called Loggia, are part of the town's most well-preserved buildings. Built between 1626 and 1628, with its classic beauty, the Venetian Loggia is one of the city's most beautiful buildings. During the 17th century, the aristocracy used this building as a kind of social meeting place, a clubhouse and celebration hall. Today, it is considered to be a fine example of traditional Venetian architecture. The fascinating Venetian Loggia leaves a lasting impression. In 1911, a replica of this wonderful structure was built in Rome. Today, the mayor's offices are located in the premises of the early Venetian arsenal. The Morosini Fountain also dates back to Venice's prosperous years. It was once part of the town's urban water supply and was named after an important civil servant. Next to the Morosini Fountain, yet another beautiful Venetian building appears, the Agios Markos Church of Holy Marcus. This basilica was built in 1239, but two strong earthquakes destroyed it. Although the Marcus Church was rebuilt after each catastrophe that struck, following the Turkish conquest, there was a transformation of religious belief. During the 17th century, the new conquerors converted the church into a mosque, something that was repeated throughout Crete. After extensive restoration work during the middle of the 20th century, the building has once again become a church, and also an attractive venue for art exhibitions. As the former Cathedral of Venice, and seat of the Catholic Archbishop, the Marcus Church may have lost its influence and meaning, but its architecture still shows off its old luster. Although the city has moved with the times and developed into an important centre of tourism, it has managed to retain a significant part of its history. Even the town's original name of Heraklion, that derives from the word Heracles, was used again following Turkish rule. Thus, the old town of Iraklion owes its unique flair to the splendid architectural relics of the Venetians.